Hi everyone, Beckie Belote here. I am a creative memories advisor from Newport News, Virginia. And I just got back from the most fun retreat ever. Um, Me and a couple of teammates, Melissa and Beth, we paired together to pull off a survivor a theme. And it was just so much fun. We had a real blast. And at that retreat, I taught a really cool concept that one of a downline. Actually, she's not even on my team. She's on the team of one of my teammates. So we help each other all the way down. And this gal, Rebecca, she is relatively new. She took advantage of some home office training ideas and she loved the ideas, and I saw the idea, and I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder what else we can do that with. So today, thank you, Rebecca, for the inspiration. I shared this at my retreat, but even if you were at the retreat, you may want to watch because I'm going to show it with a couple of other punches that you may have. All right, so let's get started. Anything new this week? Nothing really new. No promotions going on for our clients. Advisors, there is a promotion going on for you. So you may want to go and look under your advisor exclusives and click on that little square and see what kind of bargains you can get. All right. So there's a little square about buying one, getting one free from some of our items. And speaking of advisors, I have a new advisor. Welcome, Carla. If you're watching me today, very excited to have her from the Hill Creek area of Virginia. So it's very super stoked about that. But it is fun to be an advisor, and we do get perks that not everybody gets. So it's a great time to consider it if you haven't considered it yet, and you love scrapbooking and you wouldn't mind helping somebody learn how to do it. You don't have to have a whole slew of customers. You really don't. And you don't have to do parties. You can just scrapbook and invite a friend over to scrapbook with you. And that's how your business can get started. You can just help people get it done. All right. So reach out to me if you don't have an advisor. I would love to tell you about it. No pressure, of course. But it is fun, and I would love to have you if you're interested. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Um, I'm going to show you where we're headed first, and then I'll show you some really cool ideas. The punches that I'm going to use for this today, I'm going to try this with the cityscape, and I'm also going to try this with the grass. Okay. I also have done the skill. If you don't have either of those, I've done the skill with bears. I've done it with shutter love. I've done it with slide reel. I've done it with heart. No, heartbeat. And there's more. There's so many more that this can be done with. Okay. So if you don't have any of those, grab something else and we probably can make it work. So border punches and border maker cartridges. Here we go. I'm gonna change it. See what I'm doing. Okay. So this is where we're headed. It's a layering concept. Noreen Smith, who is a spokesperson for our company, she demonstrated this idea, and it's beautiful. It reminds me kind of an Alice in Wonderland type thing with the whimsical look. And then I was curious if we could do it where we put the splices other ways. These are all examples. This is with slide reel. So basically what we're doing, it's a weave type situation where you can get two colors together. You can get two colors together other ways. I've showed you how to do that. But what's cool about this is if you offset them just a little bit, it really looks layered. And I really like that. Where you can see the two colors all the way down, it gives it some dimension and pop. So I'm really loving it. If you don't like them sticking out, you can put them right smack on top of each other too. Like on this side, you can see where I lined them up perfectly so that you don't see the overlap. Over here, though, you can see where I stuck it up a little bit so that you can see what it looks like otherwise. So where I'm going to show you how to do this, I did a beautiful double page spread with slide reel. I'm going to keep this here for a moment. Um, so you can see an alternative. You can splice them wherever you want to get different looks. In this case, I did the same punch, but I spliced it a little bit different to give a different look. And I did this with the All American Blast, which is kind of a Fourth of July patriotic military type theme. Um, this paper has some paper pack, a couple of the pieces of paper in there. You can cut up one of them if you want to get borders. So I got this border from one of the pieces of paper. Um, Also in that matte pack, um, yeah, stickers and stickers and I think there's 2 packs of paper, maybe. Let me see something. I don't know. I might be making that up. I know there's papers. Oh, no, there's no 2 packs of paper. Paper, stickers, and embellishments is what comes in that pack. Paper, stickers, and embellishments. All right. And so, anyways, this is I think in the papers you have some mats that you can cut up. So that's where this probably came from. All right. And then this is that super cool slide reel skill that I'm getting ready to teach you. All right. So, anyways, I hope you like it. Super, super pretty ideas. And we're going to try it first with this building one. It's important that you have 2 different colors. I'm gonna make it look like it's kind of real with I'm using this gradient paper. If you haven't bought some of our gradient colors, these are great colors. They're not themed, so you could use them for with anything that you're working with. So if you have a favorite color, say it, be grays and blacks or reds or blues. You can get a pack and you can mix it with whatever you're working on. But I'm picking this because I like the gradient colors here. And I'm picking this one because I think these would look good for buildings. All right. So we're gonna do 2 buildings punches. This has got a little corner that's it's kind of turned up, and that sometimes can get us a tangle. So I wanted to straighten that up. Hopefully you've used the border maker. What I'm doing is I'm lining up the paper to the blue pattern underneath. So this is a great tool. This one's pretty easy to line up because of all the different buildings. If you start to feel like you're getting a tangle, I'm going to pull it out instead of going forward. There we go. It's good. And then one more. Doing it again. These lots of little catches that under there. Just pull it out and put it back in. That way you'll avoid getting a tangle. Let me get my scraps out of the way. I'm going to do it one more time, but this time I'm going to do it with the cardstock. I'm not going to have the tangle issue as much with your thicker paper, so I'll be able to do this one faster for you. But if you do feel a tangle, just pull it out and pull it back in. I didn't feel a tangle, but I wanted to remind you in case that happens. Feel it catch a little bit when you start to drag it through. All right. Then what we're going to do, we need to cut these off at the same place. All right. So I'm going to cut it off at 1 1/4, but there's no magic in that. I picked it, and you can write that down if you want to, but there's no magic there. Why I picked that. A couple of little strands here from me not being perfect. I'm going to pull off. They don't belong. All right. And we said 1 1/4. So what I'm doing is I'm peeking the tops of these buildings 1 1/4. And some of our border maker border punches that you would use don't do fall off already. In this case, they did not fall off. So that is why I needed to cut it off, but it will work with both types of border punches. But if it's your first time trying it, you may want to just try it on scraps to see if it's going to work. All right. Because I haven't tried all of them, but all of them I've tried so far have worked. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a point that is easy for my eyeballs to see, so that I can pick a pattern anywhere. It doesn't matter where you pick, but to me, I'm going to pick something really obvious because what's really important is that where you cut, and this is important too, how I'm laying my borders, whichever one you want, on the top and the bottom. Like this one is going to actually be on the top. and I'm going to put this one on the bottom. All right. And so the one on the top here, I'm going to use this building as my visual. And I'm going to do, and what I have as far as paper is right down here. There's not much, but whatever's there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half. All right. So I didn't cut all the way through, or else my building would fall off. I cut it about halfway through. I lined it up with this visually, this side of the building. And the reason why you need a visual is because you have to do it, you're going to have to cut it consistently all the way down in that same spot. So I'm picking this building with the three windows. I'm cutting it right along the edge there, but on the paper part, just halfway up. So just to there. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm going to do that over and over again. So the next time I see that little building is here, bam. Next time I see the building is there, halfway up, halfway up, halfway up. Now I'm going to lay this down. I cut the bottoms of these. I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm going to do the same skill, but I'm going to cut it from the top. All right, so we're going to cut from here to here now. Same building, halfway down now. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going on the top. I'm going on the bottom of the top one. We're going to go on the top of this one. Just halfway. Okay. After you have done that, you are ready to do this skill. And I kept making a big deal about where to put which one is top and bottom, and it doesn't really matter because your weaving is making that happen. So you can make that happen regardless. All right, and then we're just going to nestle those together. And depending on how intricate the design is, sometimes they pop out of place as you're weaving. Um, and if that bothers you, go ahead and put a little bit of repositionable tape to mount this down so it won't keep coming apart. But here's black, here's silver. I just love this idea, Rebecca Santal. You're like, I'm so glad that you joined our call. Actually, this goes this way. Joined our call. Rebecca is relatively new, and I love it that she was so confident that she shared with a group of probably 30 ladies that night that she had tried this skill that Noreen showed and that she liked it, and it inspired little old me who's been doing this for years with this super cool idea. So, anyways, thank you for that, Rebecca, if you're watching. All right, so what you're seeing here is where I have it so that it's kind of layered, so that the buildings are popping up behind it and stuff. Is that the coolest thing? And again, you could squish them down so that they're more, not so much doing that too. Sometimes you might have to go back and cut a little bit more, but I like the layered look. What do you think? All right. And I was thinking I was going to show this again with the grass, but I don't think I need to, do I? Um, because it's going to be the exact same thing. What I was going to show you with was this gradient paper, um, and with the solid to show you how pretty it would look with different spindles of grass. It would make your grass fuller. And I thought that would be a really, really cool idea, using this. And if you want to try this one yourself, what I used is this forked one right here as my guide point to cut half down every time this forked one came up. I did it because those were pretty prominent to me. All right. So, anyways, I don't want to waste your time, and I don't think this is hard. I think that you probably understand. So I don't think you need to see it again. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll go try it and see what kind of whatever border punch you're getting ready to use, or a border maker cartridge. You might want to see if your cartridge or punch will work with this skill and make something that has kind of an interesting look. I appreciate you watching. Um, Girls and boys, if you do not have an advisor and you shop with Creative Memories, or if you've never shopped with Creative Memories, we sure would, as advisors, so appreciate your order. So if you would just pick an advisor, and if you don't have an advisor, if you would pick me, I would really appreciate that. My website is www.creativememories.com, the backslash user user, the backslash again, and then you type my name, Becky, which is spelled like that, Beckie, and then my last name is B as in boy, E, L as in Linda, O, T as in Tom, E. All right. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a great, amazing week. For my loyal scrapbookers, my birthday crop is coming up. It's June 19th and 20th, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but you might want to put that on your calendar because it's going to be a birthday bash.